8 countries, 8 walls, 8 assignments.
We have the wall, and it's huge. Running out of time.
2 days.
Time is up.
1 mission.
1, 2, 3.
Team.
In each episode, 2 of the world's hottest street artists mash up their styles in one unique task. They need to give it everything they've got to bring color to the streets of the world's most famous cities. From London to Hong Kong, from Ibiza to Bangalore. Across the globe, these artists are challenged to blend their styles and perspectives into a unique work of street art. In each city, a local client gives the assignment to create a special mural.
We want it to be a tribute to
Passion, adrenaline, all has to come down in here.
Can they paint the best wall their client has ever seen? Will clashing styles and egos threaten the challenge?
I don't have a lot of requests, and I accept most of your requests.
Or will the short time frame prove too much to handle? This is Street Art Challenge. In this episode, a famous British street art duo teams up with the American beauty of street art in a challenge that takes them to an exotic Mediterranean party island. Right from the beginning, this challenge is taken up a notch when Mother Nature gives it all she's got to heat things up for the artists.
Chazzy, if you get the eye box in, I could work on the eye, too.
Are they able to conquer the elements?
Immense heat. It's like...
Can they handle the pressure of time?
Unfortunately, I don't think we've got the luxury of time to be mixed. Well, we can mix certainly new colour, but I don't think you're going to get, with the colours we have, you're not going to get a dramatically new colour palette.
Are they going to team up and pull it off? Or will the battle of the sexes destroy this street art challenge?
Anyone else think that's too big?
Too big?
The artists will land on Europe's most famous island, Ibiza. This Spanish pearl is located in the Mediterranean Sea and is loved for its year-round tropical climate and party vibes. For decades, this beautiful island has attracted artists from all over the world who come to soak up the island's unique energy. Set to the beats of the world's best DJs and boasting mesmerizing views of nature, Ibiza is the birthplace of creativity. And to make this paradise even more beautiful, party kingpin Salim has set a warm-hearted assignment for the island.
The reason I wanted to have this mural here in Ibiza is obviously to bring together Sapeña, so basically the local people and the tourists, and to make that area a bit more attractive and bring them together through art. Yeah, I think that area is a very special area. It's the heart and soul of Ibiza, of Ibiza town, basically. And I think it should stay that way. So we invited the London Police and Elle, 2 amazing street artists. And I'm so excited to see them, to see what they do with this mural, because I've seen their work and it's absolutely mind-blowing.
Chaz and Bob founded the London Police in 1998. Their iconic black and white figures have brought these English artists world fame. In just a few years, they created more than 1,000 lads on the streets and became masters in this unique style. Today, they're among some of the world's most in-demand street artists. The London Police are going to team up with the hottest girl in town, Elle. This Californian artist's creativity is off the hook. As new kid on the block, she started out 8 years ago, anonymously painting illegal street art. Since then, she's taken off like a rocket and has been asked to paint murals from London to LA and Sydney to Amsterdam. Elle is on fire. The artists are meeting at the ruins of the Ibiza Festival Club. The club was built as an amphitheater and was popular with hippies and tourists in the late 60s. Only 2 years later, the club closed, and since then, the place has been taken over by nature and graffiti.
Hello!
Oh,
We have a group.
Let's
get together. Here we go.
Chaz and Bob are pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited to do a collaboration with them. It'll be interesting to see what we can come up with because Chaz and Bob have such a unique style, and it's nice to kind of know what they can bring to the table, and yeah, it'll be really fun to see what happens.
I really like collaborating with other artists too. especially someone like Elle, who's it's a total contrast to London Police. I mean, she's like very adept with a spray can, using colour, quick, sort of bold imagery, and we want
a little bit more out of the New York style as well, like a little bit more graffiti, a little bit more beef, aggression. You know, Bob's very passive and quiet. You know, it's going to be good to see those two work off each other. Yeah, and get a little balance going on there.
Yeah, I think it's a really good mix of styles, to be honest. Yeah,
and she makes the team slightly better looking. She can never win, can she? Really, but let's see. You know,
I think Elle's a very powerful woman. I don't think it'll be a problem for Elle.
Yeah, I won't have any problems with that. I've got Chaz and Bob wrapped around my fingers.
The challenge takes place in Sapenia, one of Ibiza's most iconic areas. The locals see this old town as the heart of the island. So there is no better place for our artists to leave their mark.
Hey,
Salim.
Great to finally meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you. How's it going?
Hi there, Bob. You all right?
Welcome to the heart.
Oh, look at that.
How are you?
Very well, very well. I'm very glad you're here.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes, I'm very excited because we managed to secure a wall here in Sapenia, in the old town. I think you're going to like it. I think it's a very special place on the islands, and I feel it's missing a bit of, art. Your art in particular. I can't wait to show you guys.
Yeah, let's see what we can do.
Let's go take a look.
Let's do this.
Cool.
Nice.
With no time to waste, the artists are on their way to meet their 48-hour challenge. The wall.
So here we are.
Sweet.
There you go. This is
Right.
it. There she is.
Cool.
It's a big wall.
It's a big wall, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice and white.
Nice and
smooth.
white. Yeah.
For now, hopefully you can do your magic on this wall.
Is it going to be in the shade all day, do you reckon?
I hope for your sake it will be, but I don't think so. I
have a
think
look.
the sun's going to turn, and then you're going to be sweating
baking.
bullets.
For me, the big obstacle that I was quite sceptical about was the immense heat. It's like, you're out. I can see the wall was going to be in the sun the whole day.
Yeah, it's going to be unforgiving in that Balearic sun, huh?
Yeah.
But that hat should do a job for you.
Yeah. It's my mobile sombrero, like a parasol. Keeps the shoulders covered.
Good. So does the T-shirt.
Yeah, true.
Street art can bring a little bit of something to the community, right?
Yes, street art can definitely bring something to the community. Sapenia is a special area for a number of reasons. It's basically in the heart of Dal Villa, the old castle, where the pirates used to stay, and then the hippies stayed there, and now it's mostly inhabited by gypsies. Last year, the government tried to gentrify that area by pushing a lot of the gypsies out, and Bernardus has bought most of the houses around the mural, and he really wants to do something good with it. He wants to keep the people that are there in that area. He wants to give them jobs and restore the heart and soul of Ibiza.
I think without all the jet set coming up, this will be gone very soon. And I think it's a pity, because people will talk about it in 10, 20 years. Yeah, back then it was really original, it was really pure.
Do you feel like it's almost the last original place on the island?
Yeah, in this community, yes. Because you have some other neighborhoods, but it's all redeveloped, it's all
Gentrified.
So Bernardus has this desire to continue the culture that's already there and keep the inhabitants living there, and help the community. Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to keep the locals in the area if they're trying to change it and help them to...
That's my idea.
That's what we immediately got from Bernardus, is that passion and love for the neighbourhood.
So ideally, what are you looking for us to try and put in the painting?
Well, I want it to be, or we want it to be, a tribute to Ibiza. We want to try and basically show the rich history, the hippies that came here, special places on the island like Esvedra, the magical rock that's coming out of the water. We want this to be a tribute to that side, but also to the party side. The best DJs in the world play here, and people flock from everywhere in the world to party here. Yeah. So I think that's definitely something that needs to be represented into the piece.
Quite a concise direction of what he felt should be in the piece. It's quite clear.
All right, guys, so you've only got 2 days I know it's not a lot of time, but I believe in you guys. I think you can do it. So
we've got to do it.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. Let's do our best.
So let's get started. Get some paint for you guys and make this a beautiful wall.
Sweet.
All right. Let's do it. Nice one.
The challenge has started. First, Elle, Chaz, and Bob sketch out their ideas.
The all-seeing eye.
Illuminati, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chazaroo, how about a little dog action?
I think starting off with having like sketching out like a basic framework of very just abstract shapes, and Elle immediately came in with, oh, I could put my eye there and I could put that there. It's like, okay, that's cool. So what about this idea of the
little radiating things?
Because I could do that maybe in pen and shade that kind of quite...
And then what about, like, Chaz's little connected guys that go like this with the little things sort of look like energy to me. Chaz, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that could be quite nice. Like
and
almost...
then your little guys, where would they go?
What about that? What about that? Well, I think when you look at that sketch, it's like quite London police heavy. But I think that comes from the fact that Chaz's characters are Chaz's characters. It's not...
quite bold.
Elle, she's not so character-based, so she can do whatever kind of fit in between them.
Chaz, what would you think about me adding, like, maybe some facial or body parts to your little dogs?
You could definitely do one of your squares over the eye in there.
Yeah.
That could be really cool.
Cool. I don't feel like it's overpowering. I think size-wise, I mean, there are two of them, so it's going to be, you know, they might cover more area, I would hope, at least, because there are two of them. But I don't think that makes it more London Police. It's still a collaboration. So as far as scale, I think the eye, we could go something like here to...
Yeah, big, bold.
Well, don't forget, we've got
centerpiece.
Chaz's characters above you.
Oh, right, okay, so start a little lower,
I reckon here could be good, and then Chaz can go over the top.
to here, have the center of the eye be here.
They've got to be quite big.
Yeah, I think the piece we've come up with so far is like you said, a nice balanced piece, and it gives everyone the room to be creative in that process.
Does it look weird if it's not centered on the wall, though?
Where is the centre? How big are your feet?
As big as yours.
Okay.
22, 23, 24, 25.
Measure the wall by foot.
The old-fashioned way, huh?
Yeah. Like my feet are bigger than Elle's feet, but still, in hindsight, we actually found the exact middle because we later measured it and it was in exactly the same place, which I thought was a good omen for the project. You know, that's teamwork. Have we got everything covered then? We've got the party atmosphere. We've got the
Hippies?
The hippies.
Well, that kind of. I think
that has a sort of spiritual connotation.
We'd love to get as detailed as possible and leave the neighborhood something really nice, but because we're on a time limitation, unfortunately, we just have to try our hardest to make it as intricate as we can.
With time as their biggest enemy, the artists have to team up to complete this challenge. That's why the London Police have decided to get some help and fly in their unofficial third member and most loyal companion, Chinny.
Depending on your technique, you know how much you can achieve in an amount of time. And considering the guys mostly work with pen and actual paint, it's a slightly slower process than what maybe some other spray can artists can do. So when it's especially on a short time period that you have to produce something that you want to be proud of, the more hands on deck, the better.
Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, Chinny was there. I've been with Chinny, Bob, and Chaz many times in Miami for our Basel. They're a great team, and with our short amount of time, all hands are welcome.
Let's do this.
All right.
Should we just eyeball a waterline?
That's
middle.
Right, it's middle, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so where do you want the dogs? As my characters are something I've done literally hundreds, maybe thousands of times, I've got used to drawing that character and knowing quite quickly how it's going to look and how big it needs to be. And I simply use tape to make the first circle and body. I stand back and I'm like, right, that needs to be a little bit bigger, a little bit to the left.
So if this is the central spot, let's get a waterline in with the snap line.
Chinny down a touchy touch.
Yeah, we had discussed that the first thing they would do is mark out where everything goes and how big everything is. Bob and Chaz are more like planners, and they have tools for circles and everything like that, so they wanted to see exactly where everything went.
Here, about that big. Would that make it sense?
Like center of the eyeball there. you know, from the sketch we could tell generally where it was going, but that was kind of, you know, I don't think I could be much help with that one.
Yeah? Yeah. This is now it's fucking starting, huh? Keep that boy tight. Stay on target. Stay on target. Stay on target. I think we always use the analogy of doing your accounts, didn't you? Like, you can do your accounts with a calculator or without. Well, I can tell you which one's going to be quicker, but you could do it without. And we used to do a lot of our drawing freehand, smaller stuff on the streets. Since we've been doing larger scale murals, and especially using symmetry and the perspective of all the characters, it's so useful to have templates and technical tools, because at the end we want our work to look like it's been printed. We want it to look like it's been almost robotically done, and that requires maths. However, we're still in awe of anyone like Elle, for example, who can use a spray can. Yeah. Because I know I can't, and you're pretty rubbish too, right?
Yeah. No, I'm jealous of someone like Elle who can be so free and flamboyant with the material.
With their motto, never be scared, don't be a hero, and let the good times roll, the London Police are producing slick artwork that is, tighter than a butler's cuff.
We tend to work a lot with pens, sort of office marker pens on canvas or paint pens on walls, but I think our London Police style, if you like, is kind of quite tight lines, quite graphic.
We like
lines.
those tight lines.
Yeah.
Bold.
Yeah. I mean, you have artists that have their preferred medium, right? Spray cans or a paintbrush or whatever. But no, we really try to focus on perfecting our pen skills.
Penmanship. Keeping those lines crispy and tight. Trying to make it look like a print, like it was a robot did it.
I think the fact that our work looks so precise can sometimes go against you. I think people maybe wouldn't realise actually it's all done by hand. That's not a bad thing. It's just like I think it's like a pride thing, really. Something quite pleasant, constructing exactly what you want to create in your head on canvas or on a wall, and that people have to really go up close and say, hey, is that really done by hand? That's kind of, I think that's cool.
And we know what each other can do, and primarily my characters are generally the same. I've got like 7 or 8 different characters, but it's about where can we put them and what world can Bob build around them. And Bob started to bring in his own characters too. And on some of the colour paintings, I'm doing some of the backgrounds. So I think we're learning all the time to build our own personal skills. But, you know, what we do together really, really works, and we know how each other works.
While sketching the design on the wall, the London Police discover their first problem of the day.
Right, but I think right now, in the position we're in, with the time we've got...
Yeah, I think we should even tighten the piece up smaller.
You think you can do it first time and just slap it in, always goes wrong, and there's ag, and it's going to get aggy. Stomach.
Got some hips, isn't it? Hips don't lie.
And while the men have to change their design, Elle has to sit and wait for them until they're finished.
Chaz, if you put the eye of where you would put yours, that can help me to put the thing around it.
But the London Police's precise work means that precious time is flying by for Elle.
Chaz, if you get the eye box in, I could work on the eye, too. I can tend to get a little bit serious, especially under pressure, and I just want to, just work, and, I don't want to talk to anybody, I just want to get my work done.
After 2 hours of waiting, Elle finally convinces the guys that they should work together so she can make a start as well.
That character has quite a heavy subject value in any piece because of the big, bold lines. That doesn't mean it can't be the transport for other details to come in, and that's exactly what I've mixed with Bob this time. His little stuff on the back of my big, bold character, I think really works, and then with Elle's eye on top of my character, it really works.
Elle is evocative, beautiful, alluring, lavish, outrageous, purposeful, but most of all, one of the top touring street artists in the world.
I've always made art, but I just felt like every time I put art in the storage unit, it would die. And so I started making street art and pasting things up and drawing on paper and putting them up around the streets. I started meeting graffiti writers, and I realized there were very few women. And then I was very inspired to get up very hard. So I started to just ask people if I could paint walls. And they were like, yeah, okay, cool, paint my wall. And then different festivals and museums and people started to see that I could paint. So I started getting invited out to places in order to do so. My art currently is a lot of figurative work, but it's sort of collage, actually. So I do figurative, floral. I mock something up in Photoshop, and it's from pictures of magazines, fashion, my own artwork, the old masters, anything that I find inspiring or beautiful or interesting. And I put those together, and then I paint the collage. I think it's human instinct that people really love art. It's always something where you come into a new neighborhood and people are a bit wary and they're like, what are you putting on the walls? We don't know if we want this or not. We don't know what you're doing. And so when the kids started to come around, we were happy to invite them to help us paint parts and do things. And I think for them, that's something they're always going to remember. And they'll be able to walk by and be like, I did that. I did that. Buen trabajo. Woo! Is that fun?
Elle picked up one of the little young kids and held a spray can in her arms and helped him spray.
Can I have a go next?
Yeah.
Chaz got a couple of the kids some pens and got them to do some drawings and stuff. And initially, as an artist, you're there and you're concentrating on what you've got to do, but eventually you get to feel a certain, you feel the rhythm of how this place is working.
¿Tú? ¿Cómo te llamas? Amara. El mismo, pero con una... I made a great little friend, Amira, one of the street girls down there, probably lived opposite. And at first she was just like sticky fingers, stealing my stuff and that. But, you know, she was cool about it and I got her helping me and she was cutting stuff out and she was helping me. And that was nice. That made me feel comfortable in the street as well. Push, push.
Bernardus came and, yeah, we were pretty starving and thirsty, so it was really nice that they came with some pizzas and water.
He's one of the famous gypsy guitarists.
Yeah? Sick, that's cool. Dope. Yeah.
Bernard was explaining that he was a flamenco guitarist from this neighborhood. And again, there's another piece of ingredients you can use to put into the mural. We'll put the guitar in. Next time we see him, we say, this is an ode to you. And also, if you do that and you embrace the locals, they're going to take care of that piece when we're gone.
No, hombre, gracias para ustedes. Artistas, muy buena gente.
After the break, the artists face their second problem. With almost no shade to be found and the sun at its peak, working conditions are getting extreme.
More than anything, I think the heat makes it hard to focus when you're just absolutely melting on a wall. It can make you a little bit delusional almost, and so I think that's the trickiest part to staying focused on a wall, is just dealing with the temperature. It was impossible to see my phone because it was so bright, and also when the sun was right on the wall, and so it's so bright you can't even really see what you're doing because you can't see if you're even fully covering or if you're shading well. It was a little intense. But I did manage to finally get an umbrella today, so that was really nice.
Look at the guys, they're just happily working. What cohesion, so much cohesion in a team, huh?
Suddenly something happened around 5 or 6 in the evening where we starting to get a lot of momentum going. We're slapping colours on the wall, we're making bigger decisions. OK, let's do that, let's do that, let's do that. Oh, yeah. And then as soon as we sort of got the momentum, suddenly it started to pop, and then parts of the mural started connecting with each other. And that's, for me, when it gets exciting, because you get motivated. Like, hey, this is, OK, we can do this.
Esvedra, the island with all the magnetic force that a lot of people have come to Ibiza to see and feel, seemed like a very important part, and it was something that I thought was really interesting. And I think Bob and Chaz also really liked the idea of something in the center emanating energy, and I think we got it, so that's cool.
The magic rock of Esvedra lies at the southwest point of Ibiza. Its magnetic energy is said to act as a natural place of healing and inspiration. That's exactly the reason why this is the favorite spot of Madame Dali, one of Ibiza's most famous painters.
I think S01 is kind of portal of energy which open and unblock the energy inside of you, which show you how deep is your feeling, how deep is your love to something, to somebody. I don't know. It's not explainable because you feel also like you come at home. To feel, you need to come and be here. To live in like an artist here, it's a quite interesting situation because first, it's a very good place for create something. I follow the pencil because pencil is my hero. And the painter, it's like a translator of some more high energy which is coming through to you. So when I start, I actually don't know what I paint. I start with a line, then I continued, I follow the pencil, I continued, and then I see, okay, this is the face. In the end, it's coming unbelievable. I can't imagine in the beginning how it can be, you know? That's very interesting to be near to S01 because it's pure energy.
The London police and Elle were taken to the heart of Ibiza to face their challenge, but the guys got off to a pretty dominant start.
There are two of them, so it's gonna be, you know, they might cover more area.
And the domination continued when the men got cracking on the wall, without including Elle.
Shazzy, if you get the eye box in, I could work on the eye, too.
So she could only sit back and watch them, which really didn't help the challenge.
You know, I just want to, just work.
But when they found a way of working simultaneously, they were faced with the next problem.
More than anything, I think the heat, it can make you a little bit delusional, almost.
The immense heat. It's like, yeah, it's going to be unforgiving in that Balearic sun, huh?
And the problems are not over yet. Because with day one coming to an end, the artists are not happy with the composition's color palette. To make things worse, a large crew does not make decision-making easy. Because with so many people come so many opinions.
All the tones we've used so far have the kind of ochre tone, you know? Like terracotta, ochre, just more orange. More intense
almost the yellow that is, add that tiny bit of red and it will go a little bit orange.
Go lighter again, you mean?
I don't think it matters. I think as long as it's different from those two. But we haven't got too much.
I'm just going to add a bit more yellow to it. I'm going to add this color some...
Yeah, let's try it. Listen, if it doesn't work, we try and we try again.
But trying isn't enough, because Chinny's mixing experiment only makes things worse.
Well, to me, I'm not saying I don't like it. It's exactly the same colour. They need to be different. Like you said, if it's subtle, great, but if it's... At the moment, they look the same, and if it's not that colour, then it looks like that colour.
Yeah.
But like I said, I will step out of this whole conversation if someone else wants to just make that decision.
That's a good idea, too.
It's the 11th hour, so we don't need...
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we've got the luxury of time to be mixed. Well, we can mix certainly new colour, but I don't think you're going to get, with the colours we have, you're not going to get a dramatically new colour palette.
OK, but my question to you is this. Is that something to think about tonight or tomorrow?
Tonight?
You've got nothing you can get on with?
I've got loads I can get. I can get loads. No, but I have. But the point is that we've got to start cracking on. I thought it was a tough day, mentally tough. And I think everyone feels it too. You know, you've got these islands of detail going in, but yeah, how's it all going to come together?
It's not putting everything in for tomorrow. It's like, that's something that it's going to take a bunch of time. It's the end of the day, the light's going down, everyone's a bit tired. Maybe in the morning, that's an easier decision to make. Whereas painting lines that are already there, ready to go, that's not difficult.
Yeah, I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy to do this. I know we're all agreed with the yellow around the eye, so I'm going to do that now.
Why don't you get on with that? Yeah. I'll grab Chinny and get on with that.
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys want me and Chinny to try to mix up a bunch of different little samples of colors that we could do potentially?
I think we've got to make a decision what we all want as a colour in there.
We could even add blue into that colour and make it a lavender, like blue, pink, white. And
anything different from that red and that kind of...
I think Elle's on it. I think if you start adding blue into it and start making it like purples, that would really work better.
Let the dust settle about this color thing, you know?
Yeah.
Just call it night.
I agree.
Relax, maybe go to the beach, guys, cool off.
Yeah, it's been a long day. Yeah.
It's been a hot day.
Yeah, let's crack on first thing tomorrow morning and then we'll
Yeah, have some drinks.
Make up for the slow start today, yeah?
Good job, boys.
Should we do team on 3? 1, 2, 3, team!
Woo!
When the sun is set, Ibiza comes to life, especially for our local client, Celine, who is one of the key players in the party scene.
The club I work for, Ushuaia, is a very special club because it's one of the biggest open-air clubs in the world, I think. And especially here on the island, it's the only open-air club. It's a club where the biggest DJs in the world play, and people come from all over the world to be there, to party. It starts very early. It starts at like 4 o'clock till 12, 5,000 to 6,000 people of party. And just, you'll see it. It's gonna be spectacular.
Day 2 of the challenge starts early because the artists have to make up for the tough first day. Are they satisfied with the work so far, or did the sun get a hold of them?
Oh, wow, look at the piece.
Not bad.
Colourful in the morning, isn't it, to see it again?
Yeah.
Nice in the shade.
Yeah. In this light, it looks good, but you can see it needs a bit of touching up. The colours are quite patchy.
Actually, very patchy, aren't they?
I have to be honest and say, no, I wasn't particularly satisfied with the piece. In that twilight hours when you're putting the layers of paint on, it looks really great, and you go away high-fiving, and you get the next morning and you think, that looks really patchy, and it looks unfinished. Yeah. So, no, it wasn't a nice start to the day.
We knew what we were up against, and I was quietly excited, but I felt what you were saying.
Yeah, it was a little bit like a healthy, panicky feeling, but I knew with Elle and her skills to fill up space with her spray can, I think she really knows what she's doing. And I know that Chaz is going to put a character on top of their stuff, so if I just concentrate what I'm doing, we'll be all right.
Healthy, panicky. Yeah. It's just a brilliant term. Coined exactly the feeling. Duck is my favourite duck. It comes from China.
We were lacking out of the list of things that we were supposed to hit on the wall. The one thing we were lacking was sort of the hippies. And so we thought a pattern would be a really good idea, like a hippie floral pattern. And then we thought Chaz could throw in some little, like, his little piece figures. And so we thought that would be really cool.
To understand the importance of the Ibiza hippie movement, Elle and the boys go looking for inspiration in the old town, meeting up with Barbel, the mother of all hippies.
Hello. Hello. Nice to meet you. I'm Elle.
I'm Barbel.
Hi,
Barbel.
great to meet you.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Welcome to Sapenia.
Thank you.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Do you like it here?
I
Look at
can.
it.
When can we move in?
Amazing.
Beautiful.
This is so gorgeous.
May I present you Sapenia?
So what's the history of this little part of Ibiza?
It used to be the Fisher Quarter.
Yeah.
And it became the hippie quarter in the end of 60s. And then the hippies, they discovered the country and they moved.
Okay.
And after them, the gypsies came here.
Yeah.
That was beginning the 80s, I think.
Yeah.
Bob's going to fit right in, I reckon.
Yeah, I think you would.
When did you move here?
I moved here 20 years ago.
She's sort of an inspirational person for someone like myself to just leave your roots and come to somewhere else and then just settle in the middle of, you know, something that's totally foreign and different than what she knew is really admirable and cool.
Has it changed a lot around here in 20
It changed a lot. When I came here, everything was run down. It was like somebody threw a bomb.
Yeah.
And more or less the last 10 years, people discovered it again and they start fixing it.
If you start speaking about Ibiza and we're talking about the hippies and the energy, especially, I think she embodies a lot of that side of it. You feel her passion for this place as well. That was really important to me. How do you think the local people are going to receive our artwork?
They will like it for
Yeah?
sure. Yeah, of course. They will like it.
Barbella, thank you so much. It's really a privilege to come in here and be able to give them something. that hopefully they enjoy and add some color to the neighborhood.
Yeah, we're dealing with a situation here where there's not a lot of this paint left. So we've got to be frugal. We've got to be like Jesus with the bread and the fish. We've got to get enough for everyone to go around.
I guess it's like, obviously it's meant to represent the club scene of Ibiza, and you've got the DJ holding up his record and the speakers. And I thought this little, what do you call that, music system this guy's holding?
Ghetto blaster?
Yeah, you could call it a ghetto blaster, I guess. Yeah, this is more symbolic of this neighbourhood, I think, because we've been out here working every day, and these guys bring out the little speakers and they pump music hard in the streets. So that's a little reference to here.
Another of Ibiza's local heroes is the man who's done a great deal for the dance scene. Going by the name of Mr. Doris, this DJ is famous for hosting beach parties all over the island.
There isn't a music style here. Like, we try not to push it too, like, pop music or anything like that, or too hard. We don't ever play techno or anything like that. It's basically anything and everything, and try and explore new sounds and educate a few people if we can in the process. I think Ibiza's, like the rest of the world, it's changed a hell of a lot in the last 10, 15 years. It's not the same place where I came to in the 90s. That's not a bad thing, but due to investment in business, etc. on the island, there has been an obvious shift to money-making, which that was never really the case. I mean, everyone needs to make money, etc. But now you're seeing big brands here, and it's all big, it's all becoming a bit more like Las Vegas, which, like, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it needs to be controlled. The energy here is still very positive. It's still incredible. Again, one of the reasons I live here is because of this massive positive energy and the people it attracts.
Despite working in the heat for 2 days, the artists have already managed to complete the assignment's main elements.
A tribute to Ibiza, the rich history, Svedra, but also the party side.
Suddenly it started to pop, and then parts of the mural started connecting with each other.
But working together hasn't always been easy.
We've got to make decisions.
Everything up for tomorrow. It's like, that's something that it's going to take a bunch of time. It's the end of the day, the light's going down, everyone's a bit tired.
The street art challenge is almost over. The artists are trying to blend their different elements, but Elle fails to make this happen, and time is running out.
And there was one point where I started to do my own pattern, and I thought, oh, this is looking a little frantic and maybe not matching up so well with the wall. And so I asked the guys, like, hey, what do you guys think? Do those ones bother you, though, or is that okay?
Personally, I think there's too many different colours, and that's what's possibly making it look like it's a separate piece. Does it go with the rest, which is more simplified? And I don't think it does. I'm absolutely honest.
So
but
do you think
I
bringing
like
back
it.
the stripes and would
Might suit the piece better if the colour palette was less, or at least the colour palette was more in one sort of colour, orangey, yellowy, reddy, pink.
Yeah.
With hints of the grey's lovely.
Yeah. Chaz suggested maybe adding in more of the colors from the center, and I thought that was a really good suggestion. But doing the bucket paint and actually adding those colors in really helped to tie it together. I think that's about it.
You did it. You knocked it out of the park.
With just 1 hour to go, and with the clock ticking, all of the artists are intensely focused on finishing the mural. And with no room for error, teamwork is of the essence.
What I'm worried about is you've got these characters in the water with the thick line work around them. And if we're going to put a line on that water line, it might just help marry it all, tie it all in. Yeah.
I think it makes it pop off the wall a little bit more. We were discussing how to make it look like seamless in the piece, right? Which is always the goal. You want things to blend and interact, and you want things to push back and pull forward and have depth.
You've got the old line there.
We'll put it in.
Chaz suggested putting a little line, and then it pushed the background back, which was really nice.
Go on, draw that line.
That's it, draw it in.
Draw it.
Draw that line.
You have a curve right there. Good.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's really good.
The best.
We met Jose first day, a very serious flamenco guitar player. Obviously, that for me was like, okay, this is what I needed, a little input.
S01.
And he was quite prominent in the piece. You know, we drew this guitar on the headstock of the guitar. We put his name in there.
Muchas gracias a todos.
So yeah, it was nice.
Guys! 15 minutes!
You just said 10.
Maybe 10 or maybe 15.
With the client already on his way, these last 15 minutes have to be flawless if these guys are going to finish on time.
Well, we're heading for the big reveal. I'm very excited to see it.
Hey, chin strap, where's the white paint?
We're going to have a nice barbecue together and celebrate with the whole neighborhood, basically.
Well, I'm very excited. I hope it will be a very good tribute to Ibiza. Yeah. Oh, I'm very curious.
How do we do this?
And when everything finally comes together, Elle shakes up the team with a personal touch-up just a few minutes before the reveal.
Anyone else think that's too big?
Too big?
I don't know.
We did it in the blue, so
you
we
said,
could paint
you
it
said
over.
that we can easily go over
Yep,
the blue if we needed
easy.
to. You want that size or smaller? I guess in my head I imagined it to be small. Me too. Delicate. It's big. Yeah. Took out that whole bottom piece and it looked great, but did it completely fit with the rest of the piece? So my personal feeling that it didn't quite.
Looks like it's tagged on there.
A little bit when the rest of the piece is so clean and put together.
Maybe we do cursive and smaller text would look more fitting.
Slightly smaller and
Because
slightly more
otherwise
straight.
it might encourage people to text to... The thing is that if I want to write something, I tend to write really large because I'm used to just like, you want to cover a lot of territory. But I don't think it was fun for me to write that, but then we all stood back and we were like, yeah, that takes up like half of the piece, so maybe that's not... And I was like, Chaz, I think with this spray paint, I'm not going to be able to get as small as we want, so you should do it with your pen. And he was like, yeah, I agree. So that was better. But we did it in the blue so that we could try a number of iterations of it and go over it. I think the piece came out great. We all brought our A game, and I love working with the London police. They were amazing, and they always come out with a clean product, and it was really cool to see our work flow together, and they seemed really pleased as well. So I think we were all pretty happy.
What? Whoa!
Hey guys!
Sick! What? It's amazing.
It was a nice moment when they walked around the corner. You can't fake that first reaction to what you see, and I thought that was a really nice moment.
Great.
It's amazing. I half expected it to be that good, but
It's amazing.
just to see it in person and all the colors and the cleanness of the work, it's astounding.
It's a lot of new energy and new vision about Ibiza, about music, about happiness and people and children and everything. It's full of happiness, this picture.
It's excellent work, and it's a real contest to the area.
I was amazed, and it's a wow, which I don't give very often.
Yeah, Jose. Did you see?
That responsibility of making all the people around you in that community proud and happy with what you've done. That was the pressure. It was like a healthy pressure, right? Healthy, panicky. It was, yeah.
Everybody ready to eat something?
Damn right. I'm hungry as hell.
Yeah. I think the overall piece just exudes Ibiza. It's a beautiful, symmetrical piece. The way it's centered and then just flows out naturally. Beautiful.
I'm very honored to have painted with the London police, and we created a piece that we're happy and proud to leave with the neighborhood, and we've really enjoyed being in Sapenia and meeting the people and being here.
By the end, we were all handshakes, fist bumps.
Barbecues.
Grown men hugging each other,
Yes.
barbecues.
No, but it was a generally lovely experience.